What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk a little bit about Scorn. It was a game that came out in the last week and a half, and with all the other games coming out, I never actually made a video talking about it. I did play it. I only played about 2 hours of the game, so this is definitely not a review. I don't really like to review that much if I don't play through it all the way, especially when I play only like 10, 20, 25%. So not a review, more like how I feel about the game, and just to try to give this game a little bit of attention, seeing that you had Gotham Knights and you had quite a few other games that released just this last week. So you saw by the title, I'm not a big fan of Scorn, and I'm not a big fan of Scorn, honestly, for probably different reasons than other people are saying. Scorn seems to be getting mixed scores across the board. Now, there are some people that really, really do like the game, and that's totally fine. I do think this is a really different kind of game. Obviously, the aesthetic, like its look and what it's going for, you're not really going to find it anywhere else. So, and I guess being around Halloween time and that kind of horror vibe, this is a solid game. Plus, so, I guess the cherry on top, the biggest thing, it's on Game Pass, right? So there really is no barrier of entry. You can play it. You can do literally what I did, play it for like a night, not really like it all that much, but you didn't lose anything besides time. But I don't really, the time, it depends on the person. I didn't really mind, sinking the time I did into Scorn. So Scorn, to me, I didn't know going in that it would be 90% puzzle. And I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that. I just don't, and maybe it is also my own fault because I didn't look up enough of the game, but I personally didn't know that. I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a mixture of the action, and I didn't really know how the story elements were going to implement themselves, but this is really a game where they drop you in and they just let you go. And to me, and this could be controversial, it feels a lot like The Witness, the game The Witness, but it's not, in my opinion, nearly as good. I'm a real big fan of The Witness. I know people have actually done some really big deep dives into The Witness of how it's actually not very good, or it's not as good as people think it is. There's actually an essay video that's hours long online that goes into it, and I respect that, but I do like The Witness quite a bit. And this game reminds me of it because you're thrown in. You have to do a series of puzzles to get to the next area, to which you do a series of puzzles to get to the next area. It's the same thing, but the puzzles are obviously different. The environment's different. The enemies are different, but it really does remind me of The Witness, but I personally like The Witness a lot more. I don't mind the gore. Honestly, people that talk about how messed up this game is, I don't really, and I don't even like gore. I'm not even a big horror fan in general in terms of movies and stuff, and gore is kind of one of the reasons why, but I didn't really think it was all that gory. It's and I think Mr. Matty Plays put it best. It's actually hard to describe the kind of whatever aesthetic it's going for, but it's slimy, it's based off sound effects and things like squeezing. Those are good, I think, descriptors of what, the game actually is. But I didn't mind it. I actually think the atmosphere in this game is really cool. I don't find it scary, at all. So if I don't think it's supposed to be a flat-out horror game in terms of, causing fear in you. It's unsettling. I think the game is unsettling because there's a little bit of fear, but mainly it's just what in God's name is going on. There's so much craziness, and it is disgusting. There's some disgusting things. So that's what the game is going for, and I do think the game nails it. Again, while I'm not a fan of this game, I don't think that means other people can't enjoy it. Again, the story, at least where I'm at, is kind of non-existent, or I haven't really pieced it together. I'm sure people have also done kind of deep dive videos talking about the story of Scorn, but again, it's kind of you progress at your own speed. I will say one thing that I do think is universally being accepted as bad is the combat. Again, I thought the game would actually have more, not hand-to-hand, whatever that would mean, guns, using things. I thought it would have more of that, and I'm actually very thankful it doesn't, because when you pick up weapons in this game, it is atrocious. It's a god-awful game, in my opinion, in that way. Again, is the game trying to be a first-person shooter? No, it's not trying to be that at all, and again, thank God it's not, because it doesn't do a good job at it. So I really think that takes me out of it. Also, some of the puzzles I had to look up. Actually, some of them I did figure out on my own. There's kind of context clues in the environment that kind of help you out. But there were some puzzles, especially early on in the game, where it's I don't know what I'm doing. And again, to me, that frustrates me. But if you're more of a puzzle person, I think you're going to be fine. But I think this game is for a very specific group of people, okay? It's for people that probably like that, like, you know, disgusting kind of genre of horror, which is fine. I know you say disgusting and maybe that sounds like a negative, but it's for those kind of people, and it's for people that enjoy puzzles and, you know, hands-off approach. You're just supposed to play the game, and for that I can respect the game. I actually do respect games that just don't care and say, you're gonna get thrown in, it's part of the world, like it's part of the game. The fact that we're just throwing you in, you don't really know what's happening, and then we're not gonna tell you where to go or what to do, you're just gonna have to do it. I do respect those games quite a bit. I personally just think other games do it better. I don't think Scorn is like the gold standard of how to do it. But, you know, again, not for me. This game definitely is not for me. I played it, and then it's like, well, there's other games coming out. I don't really, like, have a desire, and that's kind of what I base games off of, or a big thing that I base games off of. Do I want to go back? So, like, for Scorn, the fact is, it's free, so that's great. Like, on Game Pass, being free, it's not a long game. Like, it really shouldn't take you more than, like, 4, 5, 6 hours if you're going at an okay speed to beat the game. But I know when I'm just not clicking with something when I play it, and there's other games that come out, and it's like, well, I really don't envision myself going back, right? Like, I will just play the new games. I don't really see Scorn, like, being, like, one-upping any of the games that just came out that I own. Does that make sense? So that to me is a weakness, because I just don't value Scorn all that much, but wanted to get my impressions out there. I don't think this game is for everybody, but again, being on Game Pass, it doesn't have to be. They'll probably find people that actually like the game, and it's been out at this point over a full week, so I'm sure people that were interested have probably already gotten it by now, because it has been like 8 or 9 days since it's been out. But let me know what you guys think of the game in the comments, if you had played it or if you were interested in it. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I'll see you all on tomorrow's video.